Thanks for staying with TVC News. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Enugu Command, says it prosecuted 366 suspects in 2024. This was part of the report released by the agency at the sensitization training for women and youth in the state. Senior reporter Bamidele Ajayi has more.
As part of the commitment to strengthening effort in drug prevention, treatment and control in Nigeria, NDLEA is partnering UNODC and other organizations to address the challenges posed by drug trafficking network. Emeka, who has gone through rehabilitation, claims he started drug intake as an undergraduate student. He narrates how difficult it was to stop drug intake.
These things, let me experience it and see how it will be by my own self. So when I tried them, I found myself going back and forth on it.
For Eze, he advised youth to refrain from illicit substance abuse as it destroys their future.
I've been into drugs for probably 10 years now, and it's a good thing that I've been admitted to rehab so that I can abstain from drugs. I feel it is not good for youth to endure in having drug abuse because it causes a lot of damage health-wise.
The zonal commander disclosed effort deployed to combat illicit substance abuse and trafficking.
We are also not relenting in our effort to cut off supply channels, dismantle trafficking networks. After all, when you cut off drug supplies, you deny users availability and access to them, including insurgents, terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, and sundry criminals who rely on drugs to foster their criminalities.
Chairman, Enugu Traditional Council and other stakeholders advise parents, especially mothers, to get involved in preventing drug abuse.
The government needs to engage the youths so that they can be better citizens.
I call on every woman so that we can prevent them, because when they get into this drug abuse, it is not that easy to rehabilitate them.
The workshop was attended by different youth organizations, civil society organizations, even paramilitary, with the aim to prevent substance abuse and drug trafficking for women and youths. The State Command arrested 366 drug traffickers, seized 1,560.79 kilograms, about 1.6 tons of assorted illicit substance that include cannabis, heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, among others. The State Commander announced that 39 suspects were convicted, all males, with 124 pending cases in Federal High Court, visited 194 communities, schools, motor parks, lectured for the 7,600 persons as the year 2024 operation records in Enugu State Command. Bamidele Ajayi, TVC News Enugu.
The Nasarawa State Primary Healthcare Development Agency has organized a one-day engagement for council chairmen to boost the acceptance of immunization and malaria treatment by locals in the state. The engagement is geared towards achieving the goals of the Immunization Plus and malaria progress by accelerating coverage and transforming services. Senior reporter Godwin Agwam has the details.
Council chairmen from the 13 local governments of Nasarawa State are here in Akwanga local government for a one-day engagement on the Immunization Plus and malaria progress by accelerating coverage and transforming services impact. The impact project seeks the utilization and quality of Immunization Plus and malaria services in 20 states across the country, and Nasarawa State is a beneficiary. The project is jointly funded by the federal government, state government, and World Bank. The Nasarawa State Primary Healthcare Development Agency realizes that the council chairmen are the closest to the grassroots, and it is sensitizing them to enable them conscientize locals to be receptive to immunization and malaria treatment. The aim is to reduce child and maternal mortality and make healthcare services easily accessible.
Primary care duties or work, mostly greater percentages solely in local governments. So we cannot achieve 100% result without intimating with you. National State Government, under the leadership of Engineer Abdullah Islay, is doing in fact, excellent in terms of primary health care. But state government cannot do alone. The things is much. We need your cooperation and support.
We want what the government is doing, in the especially in the primary healthcare sector, to be useful to the people. So that, for instance, vaccines in this country is being procured by the project at the national level. If these vaccines are not being taken up by these facilities, by the people that needs them, the vaccines will waste, and it is a loss to us in the country. So
the council chairmen are willing to cooperate with the agency to create awareness on the importance of accepting intervention.
To us, the politicians, a problem is not a problem until we define it as a problem. So bringing the politicians and other stakeholders, already the program is in the way of success.
This engagement is one among series of other engagements by the agency to boost acceptance of immunization and malaria treatment, which is one of the core mandates of the Impact Project. Godwin Agwam, TVC News, Akwanga.
A Nigerian-born broadcast journalist, Richard Edoki, popularly known as Richie Bongo, has been named the finalist in the Best Newcomer category at the National Hospital Radio Awards 2025. Organized by the Hospital Broadcasting Association, this annual event honors exceptional contributions to hospital broadcasting across the UK. Richie Bongo hosts African Vibe with Richie Bongo on CHBN Radio, a community hospital broadcasting network station in Cornwall, England. The show, aired every Sunday evening, celebrates the rich cultural and worldview diversity of African people while fostering inclusivity with Cornish audiences through music, food, dress sense, and language. Richie Bongo creates a platform that bridges cultures and builds a shared sense of community. Outside Nigeria, the ceasefire between Israel and Gaza is expected to take effect tomorrow, and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel reserves the right to resume fighting Hamas if further negotiations collapse. He mentioned that in the ceasefire agreement, they were able to get Hamas to agree on conditions that they had not agreed to in the past. Before the speech, Prime Minister Netanyahu also warned Israel would not move forward with the truce until it received the names of the first 3 hostages due to be released today. Egypt says Israel will release 1,890 Palestinian prisoners in exchange for 33 Israeli hostages. In the first phase of the ceasefire, at least 46,800 Palestinians have been killed since the start of the war in